Hello, I am doing my 4-week update. It's the 19th of March. I am about a week past. So I'm nearly at 5 weeks. This will be the Puree stage update for week 3 and 4. I started this on the 28th of February. I struggled just now trying to figure out what phase I'm on. It all kind of blurs together at this stage. The Puree phase wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. I miss meat. I'm having a lot of cravings at the moment. I miss meat. I never considered myself a meat person until the surgery, when I realized how much I actually miss it. These are my notes. I got one of these for each phase. These are my notes from my 2-3 week checkup with my surgeon's office. So I got one of these for the first 2 weeks. I've got them for week 3 and 4, which is the Puree stage. And then I've got it for 5 and 6, which is the stage I'm on now. And then going all the way up into stage 9. And then after stage 9 is when you go into the normal, back into like normal textured food slowly being introduced. I lived off mashed potato, but not mashed potato. It was mashed potato that had been put through the blender, so it was like liquid potato. It wasn't terrible, but the way I cooked it, I couldn't eat it. I've developed a severe dislike for garlic, and when I normally make mashed potato, I put garlic in it. But all the mashed potato that I made is inedible for me. I don't know if I should have, but I've been buying tubs of the KFC mashed potato because it's just mashed potato and gravy. I don't know if it's good for me or not, but at that stage, I was just aiming on getting something into my system. I did have the mashed potato that I made for, I think, the first week, and then after that first week is when whenever I would go near it, the smell would just trigger a gag. I physically couldn't go near it. I couldn't smell it. Putting it in me was it was going to be impossible. The KFC mashed potato, it's obviously incredibly thin and easy to go down, and having the gravy in it just added a little bit of flavor. And then on top of that would be all the puree stuff. So I had chicken pasta bake, but I had that pureed and with a little bit of water added, but not the pasta. So it was the chicken, the sauce, the vegetables, they were all pureed up, and then that would go on top of the mashed potato and gravy stuff. I also had curry sausages sauce. It's like a curry gravy sauce sort of thing. So I would have that on mashed potato. I got a jar of butter chicken, and I would have like a teaspoon. I think I would have like 1 or 2 teaspoons of that on top of the mashed potato and gravy. I think that's mainly what I lived off, was the mashed potato and gravy, and then the sauces on top. I did try and blend up like a vegetable puree of broccoli and cauliflower, but my blender didn't want to puree the vegetables. I don't know if I just didn't cook it down enough, but the vegetables never pureed. I wasn't able to include that into my diet, which I probably should have tried harder, but with the hunger hormone gone, even before the surgery, I relied on that to tell me when I was going to have a meal. Whenever I would start to feel sick or I could feel the hollowness in my stomach, that's when I would eat. So I would skip breakfast and I wouldn't eat until around 10 o'clock, which is when I started getting hungry. Now I don't have that hormone. I have nothing to tell me when I'm supposed to eat. So with this phase, I'm just doing anything to get any sort of food at that stage. This current stage I'm on, I'm actively working on protein-based foods, but I didn't do that before. I don't remember what I was saying. My dog's being a jerk. What my dietitian told me is impossible as a whole. So 1.5 liters to 2 liters per day. Before surgery, I was barely having 1 liter a day. I think I was barely taking in 500 ml a day, just because it's not like I was drinking bad. I'm just not a drinker, regardless of what it is. I'm finding that very difficult. I'm working on it. I'm actively working on it because I have to, because I have noticed myself getting very dehydrated. My lips are always cracking, which I'm also working on, and constantly moisturizing everything. She wanted 375 ml of milk on top of the water, and in that milk you have to add 1.5 scoops of whey protein powder. I don't know if I mentioned this before. I don't think I did. I don't know. But I'm going to mention it again because it was very specific for this stage. So she wants me to consume all of this water, all of this milk, as well as 3 meals on top of that. It's impossible. At least for me, it's impossible. There is no way I have hit any protein goals at all. She told me I'm not allowed white potatoes. I'm not taking white potatoes out of my diet. I understand they're not good for you. It's not happening. Not allowed juice. I'm still having juice. I don't have juice every day. I like strong, fresh orange juice. I've also incorporated a calcium chew into my diet. I've also found out that I have silent reflux. I am thinking that I've said all this before, but I can't have. I don't know. I don't remember what happened in the other video. Maybe I should have watched that first. Anyway, I'm taking a calcium chew every morning. I'm taking one of the disgusting orange chews in the evening. In the morning also. And then I have the reflux medication in the afternoon, like in the evening around dinner time. No, it's after dinner time because there's that 30-minute gap between eating and drinking. It's incredibly annoying. I had tried with the milk thing. I found the milk thing very difficult. I tried making smoothies with the protein milk. First, I tried to make it with pineapple. Apparently, pineapple curdles milk, which for some reason I didn't know that. So the first smoothie that I made, I was trying to drink curdled milk. It nearly put me off having smoothies again. And then I tried again without the pineapple, and then it was frothing, and I couldn't figure out why it was frothing, and everything is just, these things have shrunk. They're making me sad. Everything frothed. No matter what smoothie I made, everything would froth, and then when the froth was gone, I would have about half of what I had originally made. And I realized that my smoothies were frothing because I was blending it with the protein powder in. Apparently protein powder froths. So going forward, when I make the smoothies, if I make the smoothies, I don't make them as much now because I don't really enjoy it. When I do make the smoothies, I put the protein powder in afterwards. So with the smoothies I make enough thick mixture for 3 drinks. You're going to hear her panting. I apologize, but she wants attention. It makes enough for 3 little drinks, and then I thin it using just adding more milk to it, and then I add the protein powder afterwards, and then I mix it all up. I can't do that for work at the moment because it goes yuck. And with me adding everything, all the protein foods that I'm supposed to be adding, it doesn't work. I haven't found a process yet. I've also been playing around with flavored water additives, trying to add the protein to the water instead of the milk and then drinking it like that. But I don't like flavored water, which is what I'm struggling with. I like normal plain water. And when I use the flavorless protein just in the water, it still flavors the water and it's unpleasant. Those are things that I started noticing in week 3 and 4 that is still ongoing now. Throughout my day, I would have, because I was still at home at this time, I'm having to think back. I have the worst memory in the world. This is the bowl that I was given. This is the size of my meals back then. They're a little bigger now. I think I have normal size hands. I don't use it as much now because I have everything in little jars for work. This was my week 2 to 3 bowl. I was given this by the surgeon office. So I would have one of these kind of just below level with mashed potato and gravy, and then the sauces on top. And then I would have the mashed potato and gravy and a different sauce for dinner. And it got so boring. I still have a tub of mashed potato and gravy in the fridge that I'm trying to get through. I'm just adding that to everything else just to get rid of it, and then I probably won't get it again for a while. I don't know if I've touched on the silent reflux. I don't know if I mentioned that in the other one, but I'm going to mention it now. The silent reflux has not gotten any better. I still feel it's very uncomfortable. I still feel like a pit. It kind of feels like I'm hungry, but I know I'm not hungry because I don't have that hormone anymore. But it feels like I'm hungry. But as soon as, and obviously I thought I was hungry because as soon as I would eat, the feeling goes away. But it's just the reflux and the acid in the stomach is just getting, I don't know, absorbed by the food. And my reflux medication doesn't seem to be working. My nurse contact, who I'm going to see if I can get a different nurse, because in the next update, I'll explain what happened with my whole hospital emergency thing. All she's told me is that I can get another script for the medication I'm on because I haven't hit the 2-month mark and I'm supposed to be taking the medication for 2 months, or I can take an alternate reflux. So I'm taking the hospital recommended ones in the evening, and then I'm taking just a supermarket anti-reflux thing in the morning if I feel I need it. I think that's everything. I honestly can't think of anything else. Everything that I keep thinking of now is for the next update, which I'm starting to write things down. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Obviously, I'm only answering based on what I am experiencing going forward. I don't actually know if what I'm experiencing is correct, or if it's what I'm supposed to be experiencing, or if it's all completely wrong. I'll answer what I can if there's questions that need to be answered, I guess. Bye.